Welcome back. It's been a couple of days since I made a video. Had some issues with the internet here at the office. So I have a couple on my other channel that are without me in the video because the camera is here at the office. Anyway, let's go.
I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net.
Just focus on yourself, Kings.
Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
Today we're going to be talking about what makes an ex realize they love you.
That's a big question.
Yeah, when you're going through a
When
breakup.
you're waiting for that person to reach out, oh yes.
Yep.
I have probably heard this a million times. It's one of those if I had $1, right? So people are waiting, right? In no contact during a breakup. They're just waiting, they're waiting. And at the end of the day, there are certain rules and certain things that relationships sort of fall into in a way. Yeah, like love matters and love's a thing and etc. But, you know, how many times have you heard, I love you, I'm not in love with you? So after all these years, just to skip ahead, I've come to understand that attraction matters more. Love is important, but there can be love between people, but that person has to want to be with you, right? So there are certain things that men, again, this is geared towards men, my channel is, but if there's women watching, it's the same idea. There are things that are going to keep that person attracted to you, to give you their love essence. And if they don't find you attractive anymore, if you know, they might love who you are, but if they're like, nah, I don't really even want to be around you, well, you know, so anyway, let's see what they have to say.
So we're going to talk about this today, and we got a bunch of points that we want to go over to share because, you know, when you're feeling that breakup, oh man, Margaret, it is so painful.
You feel like your world has ended and you have ended and yeah.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times those last interactions you've had with your ex, they're telling you all these things that you did wrong.
Yeah.
And they feel such like this upper hand of power that they will just say all kinds of mean, hurtful things to you. Maybe even things they've only thought once or twice in the relationship.
Once they get on a roll, you think it all comes out, huh?
Yeah. And so
They go cold. They go really, really, really cold. They have to, because if you don't get the message, you're just going to bombard them with your energy. Meaning you're going to show up at their work, which guys have done. Guys have done so many times. Bombard her phone, blow up her phone, call her, text her, you know, send all the socials. It's just, they need to be cold if you think about it, right? Because they've been with you for so long. It's been such an intense relationship, you know, and you guys love each other. It's just like the person getting dumped is going to be so thrown and so caught off guard that they're going to be looking to you to comfort them, the one person that, you know, is causing all of this. So it makes sense that they have to go cold, because if they go cold on you, that way you can't keep pressing them, especially women. Women will go cold because they do have an idea of safety to think about. Because guys will lose their minds, just like they're talking about.
you know, it's
That doesn't leave you in a really good place, does it?
And so then you're sitting there thinking about, well, why would they ever come back to me? So we're going to talk about that, okay? What makes an ex realize they love you? Well, first of all, and maybe this is obvious, but love is extremely powerful.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes.
You've heard things like, love will make you do crazy things. And
We heard that one just recently.
yeah.
Yes.
And probably many of you guys are thinking, yep, if you knew what I did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's true. Because that feeling is so overwhelming that you just are afraid and scared and sad and overwhelmed and
Overwhelmed is the big one.
you can't turn it off.
No. And it's very hard to function when you feel overwhelmed emotionally.
So yes, I have access to my students all the time. They message me all the time and they're like, man, I'm going through it. I'm like, man, you know. So what it is too, guys, and that's why I talk about David Hawkins and letting go and the whole chart. I'm sorry, this chart right here. Okay. This is a chart of emotions. Okay. And I'm not going to zoom this in, but you can see that it's red. yellow, green, and then blue, right? When you guys are going through a breakup, you're down here. Now, of course, it's not that simple, okay? But because naturally going through life, we're going to go from here to here to here to here to here to here to here, right? But the goal is to be up here most of the time. And here's the thing about life. You attract what you are. If you're down here all the time, right, you're going to attract people that are down here all the time. Scammers, cheaters, liars, because this is what you're going to accept, because this is in the realm of your own reality. This is you, okay? As soon as you attract somebody that's up here, which does happen, they will leave you fast. They will not stay, okay? High vibe people do not stay with low vibe people very long. It happens, right? But again, it's only like a couple of months, and then it's the person's like, you, like, no, right? So get this. It's just the Hawkins scale of consciousness. You can find it on Google. Just literally Google it, and you guys can have access to it. When you guys are going through a breakup, those emotions are literally just fucking. They're heavy. It's really heavy. One thing about moving up through the emotional scale is when you go higher, you feel lighter. You feel at peace. Peace is a light feeling. It's very good, obviously. But when you're going through a breakup, you feel heavy. You feel dragged down, burnt out, just extra, right? So I have so many guys that are like, how do I turn off these thoughts? And you can't just turn them off. It doesn't work like that. You must process. Processing is important. So the faster you process, see, everyone's trying to run away from their problems, right? Your problem is your breakup. You have to face it head on. You have to face the fears. You have to face all the rejection. You have to face it. So he has a creative healing course. I've never taken it. I don't know what it is. And if you want to buy it, go ahead. But what I'm telling you is doing the work on yourself is super important, because you're going to, this is the time. You're not even going to recognize yourself in 6 months if you put in hard work every single day. Most people are zombieing through life, just no goals, no ambition, no motivation, nothing. So when they lose their when they lose their relationship, they have nothing. This is why mission focused men are so important, and they're rare. Women like those guys. Mission focused, when you're focused on what you're trying to grow, what you're trying to achieve next and after that. Are you focused on being healthy? All these things, right? And many of the guys that come to me are relationship focused. And it's okay to be relationship focused sometimes. It takes that balance to keep a woman around. But when you're relationship focused all the time, right, and you're worried about what she's doing more than her, let's say it like that, that's an issue. Women want guys to be ambitious, and focus on their goals. So when it comes to what they're talking about, right, let's let them finish their point about love, and then I'll make another point.
Yeah. When you feel a really strong bond with somebody, that doesn't go away. No. It really doesn't. Think about how many people in your life and many partners you've truly loved. For many of you, it's probably under a handful, mm-hmm. right?
For most people.
Yeah. There may be plenty of people that you've been in relationships, but with some people that you really feel like, wow, I really love that person. Yeah. Not many of those people come along in your life.
Very few.
Yeah. So we see it all the time. Love is what makes people work hard and be ambitious and build businesses for their family and to provide. Love makes the world go round. Yep. It's so powerful, that bond that we feel with our caregivers, our family, and ultimately our romantic partners. It's just an overwhelming feeling that they're going to have, okay? Now, they may push it aside, they may hide it, they may try to ignore it, especially when the breakup is first happening, but they can't escape that.
No, they can't, and I think people forget that. And partly because most people, when they break up, go ice cold.
Yes.
I hear it daily.
Yes.
Well, you don't know how cold he or she was when they broke up with me. Now, I don't think they ever loved me. No, I think they probably did. But it's difficult to break up, and lots of times people go cold.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the other person, your ex, for whatever reason, feels like that relationship wasn't working, right. That it wasn't going to change, that things were not going the way they had hoped they were. Maybe they had asked you to change. Not always. There are all kinds of reasons people break up.
AKA they lost attraction for you. People want to overcomplicate it a lot, right? Because people think that we're still animals, guys. At the end of the day, okay. And, he's going to say like, oh, there's like all these other complicated reasons why, right? There are a couple. Sometimes people like have to move away for a specific job or something. It's just the idea of doing long distance sucks. There's all kinds of other reasons, but at the end of the day, people will fight to keep you. And if they're not attracted to you or they don't see it working, they will fight to push you out. Those are the two things that happen the most. And you can look for all of these reasons if you want to, right? You can look for all the intricacies if you want to, but if somebody's pushing you out of their life, why even bother searching for those? Why do you care about trying to find out exactly why, right? If that you already have your answer about how important you are to that person. Maybe you're trying to prevent it in the future. Okay, I can see that, right? But you're going to pick up on that as you start getting over the relationship. You're going to go, yeah, you know what? Because hindsight's 2020. You're going to see all the mistakes you were making as long as you look. But because that's what happened with me, right? Maybe not with some people, but guys, at the end of the day, if that person is pushing you out of their life, you don't have to look for a bunch of intricate reasons why you guys didn't make it. Okay, that person just didn't see things lasting, or they lost attraction to you. There's like maybe like three or four things. Okay, so don't sit there and bake your brain trying to wonder and scratch underneath all these extra surfaces just to find out, yeah, maybe this person just wasn't that attracted to him anymore. Maybe they grew apart from you. Maybe there's certain things that they now align themselves with that you don't. There's lots of things like that, but that's just going to make them go, okay, you know what? Maybe this isn't going to work out anymore. Maybe I'm not as attracted to them as I once was. And there are things that can cause that: complacency, insecurity, all kinds of things. Okay. But guys, love at the end of the day is not enough. They have to be attracted to you, and they have to see things working out, and they have to see you working on yourself. They have to work on themselves. You know how many people break up because one person's like, man, I don't, and this is what they say, but they'll go party after this, right? But you know how many people break up and they're like, man, I need to work on myself, right? Men do that a lot because they're going to get to they'll get to a certain age in life or a certain place in life, and they're like, man, you know what? Fuck, man, I thought I'd be here. And they don't want to be in a relationship because they feel like they can provide more or be better. So they'll leave a relationship. I've seen guys do that. But I see when I see women do it a lot, they'll say that and then they'll go start partying immediately. Right? I'm not saying guys don't do that, because guys will do that. But I see women will go, hey, I'm ending this relationship. See you later. And then they'll go to a party like that weekend. It's not that they can't party either, guys, but you know what they're doing, right? You know they're bullshitting. They're breaking up with you and you're like, oh my God, are they seeing somebody else? And they're like at this party, like, what do you think they're doing? Right? Anyway, let's continue.
But, feeling frustrated or upset or, stuck, maybe they feel like they had to end it. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. There are a lot of reasons why people think they have to end it.
But it doesn't mean that it's always going to stay that way.
No.
And that's really important to understand. I think one of the things that people feel, well, when somebody breaks up with them is, well, if they really loved me, would they have broken up with me? And I think, yeah.
Yes, oftentimes I think yes.
Yeah. There are many reasons why somebody might have ended the relationship, even if they didn't want to.
How many times have you guys heard, I love you, but I'm not in love with you? I mean, I'm a coach, so I hear that shit all the time. But I'm sure some of you guys watching this video have heard that before. Right?
You've even heard things like, oh, they threw me away like trash.
Yeah.
They threw you away like trash.
He acts like I don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, there are many really healthy relationships and strong connections that nobody threw anyone away like trash. It wasn't working for whatever reason. And those things have to be, identified and explored. Yeah. But oftentimes it's not until after the breakup do they feel that way. So in so many of our videos, we talk about not reaching out, no contact, right? And that's what we mean when we say no contact.
Yep.
We're saying allow that person to reach out to you when they're ready. That's what we
right.
mean when we say no contact. Because when somebody ends the relationship, you really want to respect their decision. And, even though every fiber of your being says, call them, text them, grand gesture, handwritten letter,
Yep.
clean slate.
And all of your hormones say that too, that, you've lost somebody, try and get them back as fast as you can. Here's a little extra energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
ultimately that comes across as insecure.
Right.
Right? And we are trying to show you and teach you that secure, confident behavior is attractive.
It is. That's absolutely correct, right? They want you to still be a human and still love yourself and value yourself. So at the end of the day, the more you chase and pursue, the more respect, the less respect they're going to have for you. And at the end of the day, if a woman's coming back to a man, she needs to respect you and she needs to look at you like you got a fucking spine. Okay? And a lot of men throw that shit out the window when they go through a breakup and start acting like babies. Okay? That can't be you. Now, if you've already done it, stop. Okay? You can't go back in time, so stop beating yourself up for it too. Okay, I see, oh my God, so many guys are just like, Kyle, oh my God, I fucked up so bad. Oh, I'm just beating myself up. I'm like, why? Like, yeah, okay, like, I get it. Like, please, like, I understand what you guys are going through. But I tell them, I'm like, man, it's stop beating yourself up. It's done. What's done is done. And I get that you want to fix it. I get that you want them to perceive you in a specific way. But let's focus on what we can control. This is a very stoic philosophy. But what can you control in this situation now, going forward? And men are fixers, right? Men want to fix. Oh, I fucked up. I want to fix it. So that's okay. And I understand that about you guys. I mean, I've been coaching you for like years now. But I can tell where the needle's going to actually move and when it's just shadow work. AKA, there are things that are going to help you and things that are not going to help you. So I think it's important for you guys to understand that, again, it's like almost trying to wonder, like, why exactly did she leave me, right? There are probably like maybe 3 or 4 reasons why that could be, and a lot of guys already know, right? So you're sitting there pondering all day long. It doesn't really help you, right? Because you're gonna figure it out eventually, and you might as well just get to work, right?
Very good point.
Maybe you could expand on that.
Very good point. I think what Craig is saying, and I think it's a brilliant idea on his part, that, you know, when you're upset and you really want to reach out to that person, you don't feel like you're going to get through the next day unless you get a chance to talk to them. That is insecure behavior. Mm-hmm. Okay? Respecting their request for space is secure behavior and is much more likely to be appreciated and admired.
And create attraction.
Yeah. And create attraction.
Which is my next major point that I wanted to talk to. Okay. Because when you show attractive behavior in a breakup, that you are confident, that you are secure, that you can handle yourself, they are going to be more attracted
That's
to
right.
that.
That's right.
Okay? You know, think of 2 magnets and that attraction, right? That's like 2 people. And, you know, if you were doing the...
Oh, didn't we just watch a video explaining that whole thing? I think it was Aaron Dowdy's video like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just when pretty much like a week after I started doing all these reactions. It's absolutely true, right? So let's just let him finish his point.
Magnets and that attraction, right? That's like 2 people. And, you know, if you were doing the handwritten letter or the good reminder text, all those things, that's like flipping the magnet around and they're pushing it away. Right?
Exactly.
So
Fuck yeah.
Every time you think about reaching out.
Fuck yeah, Craig. That's what I'm talking about, bruh. Bullshit handwritten letters. Get the fuck out of here. See, there are some coaches out there, guys, that are trying to set you back on. I was about to take a sip of my coffee and then I heard him say that. And I probably would have spat it out because I wanted to say hoorah. But respect to all my military folk out there. But I think that if you're going to be doing friendly reminder texts and sending handwritten letters, I know he did not say that. Guys, I know he did not say that. He's against it too, I think. Sounds like it. Right? Don't do that shit. I know that many of you probably already fucked that part up. But please, if anybody that you know is about to do that kind of shit in your life ever, at some point, you stop them. A handwritten letter is only going to, and a reminder text is only going to remind them that you're just a little bitch. Okay? And what's going to happen from there is they're going to go and fuck around with somebody who's not, who respects, you know, themselves, right? Especially women. Women don't want to be around guys who don't respect themselves. There's nothing less attractive, right? Anyway, let's continue. Let's see what he has to say.
Imagine you're flipping your magnet around and you're going to push them away.
But, you know, it's okay to feel awful inside and still have an exterior of absolute confidence and I wish you well and et cetera, et cetera.
And the thing that you also have to remember is that even if you're dying inside and you feel like, this is never going to go away, you feel horrible, unless you tell somebody that or you tell your ex that, they don't know it.
No, they don't.
All they can see is your behavior.
Yeah.
So if you behave in an attractive way, it's going to be more likely to pull them to you. Okay? So when you think of a clean slate message or a good reminder text or an accountability letter, imagine you're flipping your magnet and pushing them away.
Yeah,
100% true. 100% true. Don't do that shit.
because that's essentially what you're doing
It really is. And we know because we see it every day, every week.
every week. Yeah.
Margaret, I think we are at some point going to have to just keep a chart. All three of us just keep a chart of what happens when you do the accountability letter and just keep track of stats.
Okay, good idea.
I think we should do that. And you'll see. Because I tracked it for 1 year, and I just remember every time, no response, no response.
I've done that kind of not on purpose, just here and there. But that's a good idea. I never really did that. But what I have done is guys who continue to chase and pursue that, because I tell them not to, but they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, I fucked up, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work. Chasing and pursuing does not work. Makes you look dumb. It makes you look like you can't control your emotions, can't control yourself, etc. Okay? That's why it doesn't work. So just don't do it.
That's not what's going to attract your ex.
And no, they're not going to forget about you. I'm sure you're going to get to that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's jump in with that.
Well, and most people say, he never loved me anyway. I mean, he couldn't have dumped me like this if he ever had loved me at all. So he must have been lying to me the entire time. No, from what you describe, it sounds like he did love you, and that something has gone wrong along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So understand, nobody who's been with you for a series of months or years and been intimate with you is going to be able to put you out of their mind altogether. But she was so cold when she broke up. Still, that's not how we're wired. We're wired to connect.
Yeah.
And any loss of connection makes us miserable.
Yes, that's
Okay?
true.
So, no, they're not going to forget you. They may want to, but even if they want to, they can't.
Yeah, and many of you may be looking for ways to remind them, like a clean slate message or a handwritten letter or something like that, or even being dramatic on social media. That's not going to re-attract your ex, okay? I want to talk about this. I know sometimes you get hurt when you see your ex posting on social media. Maybe they're posting with a date with somebody else. You're angry. You've heard they're dating somebody else, or whatever it might be that's upsetting you. You don't want to post angry posts.
No.
You don't want to post anything that you're going to regret, okay? Here's some food for thought. Consider how you would act if you knew that whatever you posted would somehow get back to your ex. Could be a friend telling them, they could be stalking you, they could be creating a fake account. Post only what you would want them to see.
Right.
Okay, so I have a lot of you guys, I have a lot of you guys message me. My ex stalks my social media. She watches my stories. She does. It doesn't fucking matter, guys. Is that person reaching out to you and trying to reconnect to you? Yes or no? Okay, that's all that matters. They can stalk you and watch your social media all day long. Sorry about that. And it won't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, you guys want it to matter, but that person needs to be sending you a fucking message. Okay, that's all it is, and trying to reconnect with you. If not, that's it. You're pushing on with life. Okay. There's a guy that just came into my coaching program 3 days ago, going through a breakup, right? And he asked this exact same thing. He was like, hey, like, she still watches my stories. I'm like, so? And he was trying so hard to justify why it matters. And I said, bro, just for the next week, all I want you to do, because he's a little overweight, he's like, I want to lose like 20 pounds or whatever. I said, look, the breakup is probably helping you with that because you're probably eating less. But I want you to smash the gym every single day, and that's your only focus. Okay? Yes, he messages me and says like, oh my God, like I'm thinking about her today. I'm like, go to the gym. Right? Go to the gym. Just go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. It's all I say to him. And it's because it's helping shift his energy from her back to him. And it's just a constant nope, bring it back. Right? And every day, so that was only 3 days ago. So, it's only been 2 days really of testing. But since then, he's had more like better feelings going on, right? So he's basically been like, oh, like I'm cool, I'm better, and then he'll have like a moment of weakness. That's what most of you guys are doing. So he just goes to the gym. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you going to the gym 5 times a day right now in this moment, because you're not going to feel like this for all, forever, right? And because you guys have heard of all the things about overtraining and whatever. I'm like, just walk on the treadmill, do some cardio, do some farmer's walks, whatever. I don't care. Just make sure you're at the gym, right? Focused on your goals. And that's all. And when we men have one singular focus, we get obsessed with it, right? So that's sort of what I'm trying to get him to do. And a lot of guys will also read the books. So he's in the gym listening to the books and doing workouts, which is phenomenal. And as long as you guys are making notes, you guys are going to make progress. Okay, so we're 10 minutes into this video. I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to wrap it up. If you guys want to watch the rest of their video, you go ahead. I'll put it in the description box.
And I get questions now, should I stop posting altogether? No, you don't want to stop.
If you were posting before, that's a great question. That's a great point. If you were posting before, okay, and you were on Instagram, you were posting before, you were, like documenting your life, whatever the fuck you're doing, you're in the gym, you're putting your gym, continue to do that. If you weren't, okay, and then you start posting out of nowhere, they are going to think that you're posting because of them or for them. I've seen that shit happen too. Now, eventually you can do it as long as you're consistent with it, but make sure you're posting about like growth and whatever. But if you start posting like book quotes and love quotes, you're just going to look goofy.
Living your life, but be careful what you say. Yeah.
So just to be clear, if you're going to give yourself the best chance to reattract somebody, don't do anything dramatic on social media. Okay.
Oh, there's another thing I see guys do. They'll post a picture with a girl. They'll get some girl that's a friend of a friend. Oh yeah, you come, and then like they take a picture and put it on social media. She's gonna message me now, isn't she? You're just gonna look goofy.
Okay. All right. Next point, and this is a big one. Oftentimes, people don't realize what they've had until it's gone.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
That's
Isn't there
right.
a song to that effect?
Yep. But gone is the key word.
Yep.
If you're texting them, calling their friends, going past their job, talking to their family,
They can't miss you if you won't go away.
and you're not gone.
Yeah.
Okay? So what makes them realize they've loved you? When you're gone. When you've left them alone. When you've stopped reaching out. Okay? Mm-hmm. Margaret, I was saying to you earlier that in relationships, a lot of times after an extended amount of time, people kind of take each other for granted a bit.
You get into a rhythm of how you live, and yeah.
You treat people differently a year in or 6-7 months in than you did at date number 3 or date number 5, right? And of course that's normal. We can't all be at our best all the time, right?
No,
We're tired,
can't possibly.
stressed, whatever. But, two people can kind of take each other for granted and not realize that if you're neglectful, you ignore them, you're not listening to what their needs are.
And that's where we make the big mistake.
Yeah. That they're going to lose attraction for you. And so, it happens, I think, with both parties in the relationship.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that it's just you that was broken up with. Yeah, a lot of times the person, even the dumper, took you for granted in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that...
Sick. I have heard so many guys say, well, she's not perfect either. Guys, fellas, yeah, but they're the ones leaving you. They're the ones that don't give a fuck anymore. So, yeah, maybe they do have shit to work on. We all do, don't we? But yes, you have to do the work. A lot of guys will bitch and complain and moan in the comment section. Oh, why do us guys have to do all the work? Right? Look, if you want to have a better quality woman, you have to be a better quality man. That's what it is. Women have to do the exact same thing. But the reason my Red Pill channel exists is because we all know there's a lot of, bullshit swirling around in this world right now, fooling people into thinking that they have more value than they really do, right? So that's why those channels exist, because men need to be aware of what the fuck is going on in this world. So, yes, your ex may have things to work on herself, right? I'm gearing this again towards the men that watch me, but right now is not the time to be saying that kind of shit, because they're just going to get turned off. They're not going to listen. The only time somebody's going to listen to you and be responsive to you is when they're in love with you. Okay? Let them finish this point and then I'll stop the video here.
A lot of times the person, even the dumper, took you for granted in the relationship.
Which means that you've got to work at it every day.
Yeah.
Of wondering how your partner is doing. We all kind of assess our own feelings every day. What kind of a mood am I in this morning? But you have to be as tuned into your partner as you are to yourself.
Yeah, and it's not easy to do.
Right. And many, many people come from families where there was not a whole lot of communication. And when you start saying you have to do this and you have to do that, they may well think we're nuts. They're much too polite to tell us that. But some families don't communicate, and it doesn't even feel natural to you till you get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I see that's one of the major problems that I have with some of my students is they don't even want to communicate. I've had students that like literally like they'll be like, hey, message me every day until this day so that I can help you, and they just don't know how. They're like, I'm like, just say hi. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm doing. But they don't know how to communicate because again, they were not taught how. They didn't see it, right? Children are monkey see, monkey do, right? They'll watch you and whatever you're going to do, they're going to do. They copy you, right? So you have to, if you're going to communicate, that's why having a healthy, if you're looking for a woman, make sure that woman comes from a healthy 2-parent family, right? And when you meet their parents, when you meet the woman's parents, what are they like with each other? Because it's going to give you a good indication of what that girl's going to communicate like and be like. Right. And here's what you're going to find too. There's not a lot. It's not like there's an abundance of people that you'll be able to date personally. You just have to cycle enough. Right. But it's not like every girl that you're going to meet is going to be like that. There's a lot of people coming from broken homes that have work to do. I had work to do. Right. And I'm still not at my best. Something that I work at all the time. So guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here because this video will literally be an hour long by the time I'm done. I respect what they had to say a lot. And now I don't watch. So again, like I told you guys before, I don't watch other coaches very much, right? I have Corey Wayne. It's like the only guy that I watch almost every day, every other day. And I have to cover more of his videos. But ever since I started watching some of these coaches, right? I pick up things that they say that I could add to my toolbox, and I'm 100% grateful for it. That's why, obviously, like, you know, I'm gonna make sure that they get all the credit they deserve. Most of the channels are bigger than mine anyway, right? But if there's somebody that didn't hear about these guys, then of course, and what just happened, right? Some guy was like, "Oh, I found Aaron Doughty because of you," or I found, oddly enough, somebody found Coach Lee because of me. Weird, but again, it's because that's how YouTube works. YouTube works through searches, right? And then suggestions and browse. So somebody was, I think, searching masculine energy, and my channel obviously came up and they saw all the stuff. And then I talked about Coach Lee and they went to Coach Lee's channel. So it's just a really cool way to, you know, I'm using their content obviously. But if you guys, the most important thing at the end of the day is that you guys can gather all of these tools and help yourself grow. And that's really what matters. That's really what matters. Nothing else matters. Your personal growth, making yourself the best man you guys can be, is the best thing you guys can do. Sorry, I just ate, so my tummy's a little weird. Anyway, love you guys. Coaching's down below if you guys want that. I'll see you in the next video. Done.